Hey everybody, welcome back to Suck Less Saturday. It's Neil. I'm out here at the Widener Ranch doing some shooting again here on a beautiful, hot August day. Today I want to talk to you about your cadence.
You need a shot timer because that which gets measured gets worked on. The Range Tech Timer is the official timer of active self-protection because it is versatile, reliable, feature-rich, and very economical. Check out all it can do at the link below.
All right, so folks, if you do much shooting and go to classes or spend any time under instruction, you'll hear people talk about shooting cadence and really what that's about, and they'll spend a significant amount of time on that. I really want to focus on that just a little bit today here and attempt to suck a little bit less. And basically what the cadence is how fast you're pulling the trigger versus seeing your sights. And typically what we see as our distance from the target gets further and further away, the cadence slows down a little because we've got to correct a little bit better. And so, you know, this big B8 target right here at 25 yards, we've really got to slow down to get it inside here versus when I'm standing at 3 yards. So I can shoot much faster. So we're talking about follow-up shots. 1, 2, 3 shots in a row, a bill drill, that kind of thing. How fast can we shoot the cadence? So if you're shooting, say a bill drill is a widely known one, you can shoot it at 3 yards, 5 yards, 7 yards. 7's really typically where most people shoot it. But you can shoot that wherever. But what you're gonna see, even from a wildly high-end shooter, is at 3 yards, it's gonna be super fast. And at 7 yards, it's gonna be pretty darn fast. And at 10 yards, it's still gonna be quick, but it's gonna be slowing down a little. And if they back up further, that's what we're talking about when we say cadence. So I hope that makes sense. And I want to talk about something that Tom Givens talked about at one point in one of his classes is, quickly, carefully, and precisely, and we can work on cadence all at a closer distance. We don't have to back all the way up to 25, so maybe you have a range that doesn't allow that. Maybe yours isn't that far. So we can set our targets at, say, 3 yards or 5 yards, and then we can shoot at different size targets on the same piece of paper, and really what that emulates is moving backwards. So at 5 yards, this B8 is something that I can shoot pretty quick, but now if I want to move up to this head box, I got to slow down and I got to be a little bit more precise. And if I move over to the 2-inch circle or even the 1-inch square, now I've got to be really I've really got to focus on precision. So now I've got to be super careful and precise as I do that. So what I'm going to do here and what I'm going to assign to you is to go to your range and find a target that's got some different size stuff on it. This is the ASP target. You can get it at bakertargets.com, but there's a million of them out there that have very similar kind of things and makeups, and work on how fast can you get acceptable shots in the 8. And then how fast can you get acceptable shots here? If it's the exact same speed to get an acceptable shot in the head box as it is this, then that tells me I didn't pull the trigger fast enough here. I hope that makes sense. Because I got a whole 8-inch circle to work with here. If I use the whole 8-inch circle, I ought to be able to pull the trigger pretty darn quick, versus up here, I've got to focus a little bit more, versus over here, I've got to focus a lot more, versus right here, it's gonna take a long time. Right? Now long time is going to be relative to your shooting skills and abilities, but understand everybody's going to be a little different. And if you know where you are, now when the day comes that you need to make that long shot with a follow-up shot, you know what it's going to take, and you're going to have an idea in your head of how long should it take me to see those sights and prep them and get everything there, and what is it going to take to actually get a hit. So further back we go, very minimal movement in our barrel is going to move the hit a lot. And it's the same thing with these smaller targets. A little bit of movement here and I can still get in here, but a little bit of movement here and I'm going to miss completely. So without further ado, let me put in my ears and let's go shoot this thing, and I'm going to show you what I'm talking about. You know what's awesome about these things? They're Bluetooth and they're connected to my phone right now. What's not awesome is that I can hear one of my tap games is on my phone playing. If you can guess in the comments which one it is, I'll send you a Suck Less patch, and I won't lie. Ooh, I haven't played this one in a long time. So let's put that right there. So here's my 5-yard mark. So now you can do this with the draw. You can do this gun in hand. Let's just do it gun in hand and start at a low ready so you can focus. The idea is 3 shots. So how fast can we get 3 shots on each of these targets? So I'm going to start with the 8-inch circle. Check and make sure I've got a full gun. I am good. So get everything that I want. Remember, I'm focusing on my support hand grip and all of that stuff so that I can see my sight and everything is great. And I'm gonna start it a little ready and I'm just gonna move up. Now I'm not gonna time this or anything. You guys do your thing here and figure this out. Get your timer out if you wanna do it, but for the first time to do it, just get a feel for it. Get an understanding of what it feels like. So start at that low ready. Man, I am sweating like a dog. And then when you're ready, ooh, and see I got a little trigger freeze there, but I got a pop, pop, pop. So I've got, here, let me holster up. Let's go check it out. Shot 1, shot 2, shot 3. Shot 3 had that little trigger break thing and I had a little bit of time to correct and fix that. So that was still pretty quick, but I think I can go a little bit quicker there. Let me try that one more time, all right? So we'll start down here at that low ready, and I'm just gonna go at my speed as fast as I can go. There we go. Now that one went quite a bit quicker, and I'm just gonna turn that quick and I'll just point here. I got one that went just outside, so I'm about a 1/4 inch outside the 8 ring. Okay, so that's probably the speed that I wanna go, or a hair less when I'm shooting at a target that size at this distance. Now if I move up to the head box there, that's a 3x5 inch card. Let's try that one. And so we'll start down here at the low ready. There we go. I got 3 shots, 3 hits. Let me see if I can go any faster with that. So start here. There we go. Yep. That one, when I tried to go fast like that again, look at what I got. 1, 2, and a line break. So that's my shot. These are my first 3 shots at that pace, which was the cadence was a hair slower. It was still pretty quick, but the last one, my precision was a whole lot better. I was really close with all 3 of those. Shot really fast, but I wasn't timing the dot right, and I was getting down below. So I probably could go a little quicker with that. That's something I can work on. That's a whole nother suck less. Now let's move over here to a 2-inch circle and see what happens. So we're talking performance mode here. So ideally, I'm not trying to go as fast as I can. I'm trying to get hits as fast as I can. So, you know, the last few weeks, we've worked on a lot of speed mode kind of stuff. There's your speed mode, there's your accuracy mode, and then there's the performance mode, which is where we should leave the range every day, is in performance mode. Not, you shouldn't go out and shoot your fastest build drill that you can possibly can and walk off the range, because that's what you're gonna take with you, is wherever you were, and however great that was, if you didn't get all your hits, probably need to get into performance mode here. So I'm going to get into performance mode here, and I'm going to try to put 3 shots, yep, on the number 1. There we go. Well, that one was perfect. I'm not going to shoot it again. All right, so 1, 2, 3. So 2 in the same hole down here low, but acceptable hit. So I used that whole 2-inch circle, and they're all there. Now let's move up to that 1-inch square. I've got 3 rounds left. Let's see what happens. Into a 1-inch square. All right, I don't know if you can see this or if John can zoom in. Shot number 1 was about a 1/2 inch low. That was 2 and that was 3. My offset was, I'm standing at 5 yards, so I need to aim just a hair high there. I just missed an offset there, but that was probably my pace. I'll shoot this one again to get a feel for that, but you probably noticed that was significantly slower. So I'll move up to the upper 1-inch square. There we go. So that was 3 hits. So now let's go up and talk targets for a minute. Okay, so you can see here's my B8. This was a clean target when I started. There was that one that went a little bit high, probably a little too fast on the trigger there. As the gun rises and falls, I want to be engaging the trigger about right here so the shot falls down into here. That was a timing issue. I probably just didn't time it right and pulled the trigger a little too quick. Here I pulled the trigger a little too late on this one, but I got a clean run there, and you saw the cadence was a little bit slower. Moved over to the 2-inch circle, the cadence was a little bit slower yet, and my timing was pretty solid on those as well. Here's the first 1-inch square where my first shot was just a little low. That was my offset, and here's the last 3. So that's what we're talking about when we talk cadence. So this week's assignment is go to the range. we got to spend some time in the range. I know that dry fire is really, that's what I'm about, is the dry fire. It spends a lot less money. You can do it at home safely and all of that kind of stuff. But if you don't go out and test yourself from time to time, you don't know where you are. And you don't know if you can actually get hits. Even at a 1-inch square of 5 yards is not an easy shot. I know somebody in the comments will tell me I'm stupid and wrong for that, but yeah, then show us your video of you doing it, and that's great. It's not a hard shot, but it's certainly not easy. And at what cadence can you go? How quickly can you get those hits? We're talking performance mode. This is the kind of stuff that I would recommend you do before you leave the range anytime, is do a performance mode type drill, like a cadence drill like this, the quick, careful, precise kind of stuff that Tom Gibbons talks about. So you're focused on getting hits rather than just pure speed or just pure accuracy. Now, if I had taken my time, at 5 yards, I can drill this X out and everything's easy and done. But, like we talk about, you can't miss fast enough to win a gunfight, but you can hit slow enough to lose one. So really focus on getting your shots on there as fast as you can. Let us know what yours is. If you want to get a timer out and do it, knock yourself out. If you don't, come join us in the Ask Dry Fire Challenge and talk about it with us. We can, there's plenty of people that'll do timers in there. I'm one of them. I'm not an anti-timer guy. Don't get me wrong on that case. Heck, I'm wearing their shirt today. So I'm all about the timers, but you don't have to have one for something like this. Something like this, if you haven't done this before, then go out and get a feel for it. If you've done this before, now that's when you start getting the timer out. Get a timer out and see how long does it take you to get 3 solid hits on a B8, using the entire B8. And then how long does it take you to get 3 solid hits on a 4-inch circle or a 3x5 card. Move over to a 2-inch circle and get those times, get those in your head so you understand what that feels like. And then you can suck less. Have a good one.